The public is active this week. Just 2 games on the board Sunday in the NFL, the Conference Championship, but the public has strong opinions in both of them. In fact, they're active on both sides and even a total. I'm going to give you the most public side in totals in both the AFC and NFC Championship games and let you know if we should play them or fade them. Deep dive here coming up right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV, and this is NFL Fade the Public Conference Championship Edition. And look, it should be the shortest video of the season, just 2 games on the board, but there's actually a lot of public data to work with this week, and public hasn't fared too well in the playoffs. In fact, the most public play this postseason was the Chargers back in the wildcard round against the Texans. That didn't work out. And then last week, no official public play, but I said the most public lean was the under in the Lions-Commanders. Wow, they couldn't have gotten that any more wrong. 52 points at the half, an easy over, and I told you to fade the public in that one. Actually, I faded the public in both of those games this season here on the video, and let's get right to it. Ding, ding, red flag alerts. We've got public dogs this week. In fact, the public is on both the Commanders and the Bills, and not a surprise. You know, when we get to high-profile postseason games, whether it's football or basketball, public goes from normally playing favorites to all of a sudden liking dogs when they're quality teams. So the question is, are these quality teams? Well, it's the round of 4, but I think if you had told me several months ago that it'd be Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, yeah, that all makes sense. The other team's probably the Lions or maybe the Niners at the beginning of the season, Packers. Nope, not my Washington Commanders. What? That's the one that doesn't make a lot of sense here, and that kind of looks like the outlier here. So once again, public dogs, both the Commanders and Bills. But I would say the more strong public dog is the Commanders, and also they're +6, whereas the Bills are only +1.5 too. So we always look to fade the public dogs. If you're looking to fade one this week, the Commanders are definitely a public dog, as are the Buffalo Bills. Bills, of course, did hand the Chiefs their only real loss this season back in Week 11. And what's interesting is in Week 11, the Eagles beat the Commanders. And then in Week 16, the Commanders beat the Eagles. But keep in mind, Jalen Hurts got hurt early in that game. The Eagles actually had a 21-7 lead in the first quarter. And then Kenny Pickett, not my Kenny Pickett, came in, did not play too well. By the way, Saquon Barkley had huge games. He had almost 300 yards rushing combined, over 50 carries, 4 touchdowns in the 2 meetings this year. So I know we don't talk a lot of player props, but hard not to like Saquon Barkley over his 127.5 rushing yards because, you know, last week the Rams were keen on him because he tore them up in the regular season. Well, he tore them up again last week, and he beat the Commanders up pretty good in both the win and the loss this year. But once again, public dogs this week galore. Commanders and Bills both qualify as official public plays. Public hasn't fared so well so far in the postseason. We'll see how they do this week in the championship games. All right, let's get to the totals here for you. The most public total this week, I'll give it to you as an additional lean, is the over in the Commanders-Eagles game. How ironic, right? The public lean last week was the under in the Commanders game. They got smoked, so not a surprise. Short-term random memory, right? Recency bias. And the Commanders over is the most public total this week. I'd call that an additional lean. It's not quite as public as the 2 sides, but definitely some public sentiment on the over in the Commanders game. And I would fade the public in this situation. In fact, I did a deep dive free play video for you on this Commanders-Eagles game, and I do give you the under 47.5 as a free play. And the few things I point out is that, yes, the most recent meeting we had 69 points. 69, dude. 69 points in that Week 16 matchup. But once again, some of that came in garbage time. The Commanders were down. Kenny Pickett came in. It was kind of a junk game. The real true handicap was the Week 11 game, which was in Philly. It was a Thursday night spotlight game. It'll be very similar to this game. And that game did land on 44 points, 26-18. But keep in mind, the Commanders scored with less than a minute to go, a meaningless touchdown to cut it to an 8-point margin. Otherwise, that game would have been in the 30s. My rescore using the drive charts in that game came out to the low 40s. So I do think this line is a little too high. Now, the look-ahead line for this possible matchup last week was 647.5. It's exactly where it is now. That was a bettable line before the games last week for all the possible matchups. So the line hasn't really moved much based on last week's results, but I do think the public sentiment will move this higher. We might see some 48s by kickoff. So I would actually wait Sunday afternoon. You might get some 48s, as I do think the public will push this line higher as they are on the over. Now, we do have a sharp square divide, by the way, on the side. I meant to point that out earlier. Line opened 5. It's now up to 6. We even see some 6.5s, yet the public is on the Commanders. So I think the sharp money's on the Eagles. Public is on the Commanders. I know a lot of you like to fade public dogs, but you also sometimes want that confirmation that it's a sharp square divided. It does appear to be in this game with the money pushing the line higher. All right, let's look at the total in the Buffalo-KC game. This is the one that really doesn't qualify as anything public this week. Light lean, or some sentiment, I'll say, to the over. Once again, if it was a regular NFL week, I would not call this a public lean. But the public, a little bit of sentiment to the over in most spots, but I've seen some conflicting results there. So I'd say of the four sides and totals, the Buffalo over is the least public of the four, but a little bit of sentiment there. But then again, the public normally leans towards the overs and with favorites in general, so nothing out of the ordinary. And I would agree with the over in this game. I did do a deep dive solo video for this one also this weekend, Buffalo-KC, right here on WagerTalk TV, and I would recommend the over 48.5 in that one. The look-ahead line in this game last week was going to be KC minus 1.5, 48.5. So once again, oddsmakers did an excellent job predicting where the lines would be with the look-ahead lines. A little bit of a sharp square divide in this one also. The public obviously on Buffalo, as I mentioned, but this line has gone from pick, even 1.5, up to 2 in many spots. So I think you can make a case that the sharp money's coming in on the favorites this week, whereas the public's on the dogs. It'll be interesting to see where these lines settle on Sunday. Wouldn't be shocked to see that Eagle line come back down to 5.5 or less, with more public money coming into Washington. I think the sharps have already kind of hit it. Meanwhile, the Buffalo line will probably drop as well. If you're getting a 2 now, you probably want to grab it because I think it'll come back to 1.5, which is already the line in several locations. But I do like the over 48.5 here. And once again, I would fade the public with the under in that Eagles and Commanders game, as the public is fairly heavy on the over in that one. Hey, look, quick hit video here. I wanted to give you the public consensus on the sides and totals. Once again, the public is backing both underdogs this week, Commanders and Bills. We'll call those official public plays with an additional public lean on the over in the Commanders-Eagles games. Hey, comment below. Play them or fade them? What are your thoughts on these sides or totals? What sides or totals do you like best in this championship round on Sunday? And also, hey, throw in some player props. I gave you the Barkley rushing over. I know it seems square. That's probably public, right? Public's not always wrong. Sometimes we play them, sometimes we fade them. I'm not looking to fade Saquon Barkley anytime soon in a big game. Your thoughts on player props as well. I know some of you do quite well. Drop them below with some analysis. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And if you're missing out on my free play basketball videos, you're missing out. They did quite well this week. Lots of free play basketball. Baseball's around the corner. Basketball videos on a daily basis. So make sure you click subscribe and you click that bell as well, so you'll get an instant alert when a free play video goes up, whether it's the solo NFL videos for this weekend, this Fade the Public video, or my daily basketball free play videos. Click subscribe and click that bell for an instant alert. And also, by the way, on Saturdays, I'm starting my college basketball top 25 videos now that football is winding down. Hey, if you'd like to get my basketball best bets and my conference championship best bets for this Sunday, go get them right now at WagerTalk.com. And it is 7 days for $77. Normally a 7-day package is $99, but this weekend you can get 7 days and nights for just $77. No promo code needed. That'll get you every college and pro basketball best bet for the next 7 days and nights, plus my best bets for both championship games this Sunday, as I put my current 18-2 Sunday winning run on the line. We've gone 18-2 the last couple months on Sundays, and I've got 2 more best bets covering both games this Sunday. By the way, 5-0 so far with playoff best bets, 29-12 in the NFL with my client best bets the last 2 months since early November, up over 60 units, which is number 1 at WagerTalk.com. Hey, check it out. Daily basketball best bets, both championship game best bets on my page right now. Get 7 days for $77. Or if you want to take a serious long-term investment approach, get college and pro football, college and pro basketball, and that baseball, which starts in a few months. By the way, baseball went over 100 units on its own last year. We more than doubled my client's bankroll in baseball alone last year and finished up over 133 units in all sports. Hey, 2025, it's not too late to make a new resolution for this newer year. I know we're a few weeks in, but you'll get the next 365 days and nights, and you'll get it for about $1 a play with promo code SM365. It gets you an instant $811 discount off the 1-year all-access pass. That gets it down to exactly $99 a month, $3 a day, about $1 a play. SM365. Look, you don't have to memorize these promo codes or special offers. Take your time, check out my homepage, figure out which one works best for you, and then get on board some strong best bets for this weekend in college basketball, especially on Saturday, throughout the week on the weeknights, and then obviously the Sunday NFL best bets are up there right now as that 18-2 Sunday winning run continues. Also, you'll see a special 7-day trial for OddsLogic I want to point this out to you. This is what I use a lot for the consensus data, by the way. You can click on 20 different sports books, both public and Square and Sharp sports books, and see the consensus data. That's a large part of what I use when I put this video together every week. I also like the real-time injury updates, especially for basketball this time of year, real-time live odds and scores. Not only do I use it, but it's what the sports books use behind the counter. This is a professional level product, and you can try it for free for 7 days with address oddslogic.com/SM. It's an actual web address, but you have to have that /SM for Steve Merril, yours truly, and you get 7 days for free. Hey, try it out. That link is also on my page right now at WagerTalk. If you want to try out a professional level odds, injury, and scores line service, do it for free for 7 days. oddslogic.com/SM for that free 7 days. Once again, don't have to memorize these special offers. There's some great offers, some great promos. Check them out on my page. You'll see them with the daily best bets. And then right below that, you will see a free play. Last cut goes up as a free play every day for my followers as well. So it's yet another reason to go to my page daily. I have about 2 to 3 best bets. I'm very selective. That last cut is still a very strong opinion, and I put it up for free every day on my page right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Hey, get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Follow me on social media as well, at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned to Wager Talk TV because you know there's more free play videos coming up next.